Hi, welcome. How you guys been? I hope everyone's doing great. Still on this journey. That's yeah. We've had a good ride. This has
Yeah,
been yeah. This
we're
has
gonna
been great to see like the amount of people we've actually built in the community, as well as like how much the people that we've had on and how much we've grown and developed as much as well.
percent, man. Totally. And just because of the whole purpose behind this podcast is self-improvement, like it just drives everything outside. I remember you were talking to me about your SMMA, like you had like some kind of
Marketing agency.
something like that. Yeah. So you're like how this kind of all helps you to
Ties.
that. Exactly.
Yeah, because I was thinking also for you and me, and also our goals as well as potentially our audience's goals, we could all also come together, hit the same mission, and also actively sort of portray in our own ways what we want out of life as well.
Yep.
From like this could be, as we said, like we want to do this for our younger selves, and also like this could possibly provide some wisdom for obviously people older, younger, people who haven't been on the same path as long as us. Or yeah, it's just
Yep. 100%. Yeah, this week's episode, today's episode, I guess, because now we're doing more per week. I wanted to go a bit more on on the social aspect of life. So more so kind of finding the right people in the right places, to self-improve and, get better in life in general. And like personally me, like I go mostly socialize at the gym, or I go to like a nice coffee shop, kind of meet new people there, or maybe a library would be the best. I go some for events, I do like a lot of sports. So sport events, university, like, academia, there's more like certain conferences or conventions or different things of that nature that kind of there are places that where you can meet like really, really high quality people, entrepreneur, very important people in like the industry, like depending on where you want to go. Yeah, that's basically it. Like that's the kind of advice like that I want to give first. And then yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's also like for example at the gym I meet like like you feel like because the gym is like one of those places where everyone has a goal in mind, which is to work on their physique and get stronger, right? So
yeah,
just given that kind of mindset, you're self-improving, you're already like you're putting you're resisting uh that like you know uh, I guess laziness, or just going like I guess letting the current
you're
take you
going
to
against
staying.
biological. Yeah,
I guess um modern day things that just drag you down, like in terms of like productivity and health in general. You're
yeah,
pushing yourself out there, and you're going to the gym, and you're not going to be initially, you're not going to be like the best looking person or the strongest person at the gym, right? But the fact is,
unless you're doing in your favor, but that's like a very rare case.
yeah, exactly. So like already that kind of initiative, it is like, it is already really nice. And then on top of that, now that you're actually socializing with like these people that have been at the gym for like what, 5-10 years, and that have like businesses. Some people are like millionaires there and they go to the gym, Some people they come from really nice families, so it's like you open up doors to opportunities, doors to bettering yourself, like even motivationally, like you're getting more out of it, pretty much.
Yeah, and you're advancing your mindset as well as like focusing on that one goal that you have as well. It brings you to sort of like it brings you to a different perspective on life just because you're thinking self improvement and you're also learning the little core fundamentals of business as well while doing this. Because it's like once you once you start off with your body first and then you can make a business, you've already got the fundamentals sorted.
Exactly.
But I was
Yeah.
just also, I was just thinking as well, you know how you mentioned with how you go to sports clubs and that sort of stuff. I was just thinking even like one of the best examples I have, just this is from my own personal experience and what I've seen, especially across the world, fight gyms are especially like a really good place to go to, or like a jiu-jitsu gym or some sort of martial art, just because you have people there who've got basically killer mindset, who can kill it in business, kill it in martial arts, and also still do absolutely everything. And they still got more time to socialize, go like maybe even like go out on the odd occasion with their family or basically treat them. Yeah, I was just saying like that's probably a good example just because of what fighting and even like doing weight training teaches you, and combining that all three into one gives you some sort of, it gives you like a holy trinity of three
Mhm.
core fundamentals you carry through for the rest of your life.
Yeah, exactly. Another thing with like, being socially, active in society and like just pushing yourself to meeting like high quality people in society is like you always have like you're never gonna let yourself go below a certain point because you've already set your standards in society with people around you. These people around you that you want to always be in that circle and surround yourself with that group of people, whether it be at a gym or, in university or a certain like club that does like something, that really interests you, rocketry club, for example, or, I don't know, something like that. And then it just pushes you towards the goal or, the the
Do you mean pushing outside of your comfort zone, that
yeah,
sort of stuff?
exactly. Yeah. And then you're setting yourself up for success pretty much. Right.
Yeah,
Another benefit is like the fact that you're keeping social with those people also has like it has an impact on on yourself mentally too, right? Like keeping good contact with these people, so and then just making sure that you stay up to date with them, they stay up to date with you, and then you guys kind of motivate each other in like your endeavors and whatnot. It keeps yourself going, so you kind of have like you're building like endurance, you know with good social ties with these kinds of people. You're building your endurance in that field pretty much,
yeah.
right? So that's another point right there.
And that social endurance can like be so much more valuable, even if it's like such a tiny 1%, or it's just the consistent improvement of it, and you consistently trying to improve in that area can just bring you to connections you never thought you would ever get.
Yeah, exactly, because you're gonna, and consistency's the number one thing, the point that you mentioned there, because you're pushing yourself every day, no matter how you feel, what kind of mood you're in, because you're not gonna wake up like 100% all the time, but because you're doing those reps, right, socially, not just like in the gym or whatnot, but you're doing those reps, pushing yourself to talk to people and all that. For others, it's probably because depending on like what kind of job you do and all that, it's, they're already used to it. Like, but for people like me, like in engineering, we're not really always dealing with clients like face to face all the time. We're mostly building things, and objects and whatnot. So
Yeah,
that's another thing to kind of like balance out my routine. But like nowadays, a lot of people want to work like online. They want to do some business online and all that. So they have to deal with these technologies and stuff. So they still have to work on some sort of social dimension in their life, right?
yeah.
But yeah, that consistency, like you said, is really important.
But even especially as you're saying, like a lot of the people online, they do phone calls, not really too much face to face, unless you're in the same district or same area. Like that face to face just adds an extra bit of value that obviously just a phone call won't do, or even on a more realistic standpoint, it adds more like more so you met the person, you got to shake his hand, maybe hug him, like it just adds more. You just feel more united with that person and possibly towards the same goal.
Yeah, pretty much. You're getting closer to your client's needs. You're getting closer to your client's goal, right? It's like you're putting yourself in the client's position, and as if you're the one trying to get to that goal, right? So it's like it's also like you're kind of developing like these skills of like, social empathy, and like, dealing with, what was that word? Anyways, pretty much you're empathizing with your clients, and it's a skill that you're developing within yourself too. Like it's a social skill, right? At the end of the day. And
Yeah, it's very much a social skill.
yeah, I remember remind me of like the episode you did with Troy. You guys mentioned on pretty much there's also the aspect of detaching yourself emotionally from business, which is another, like, it's like
Yeah,
a kind of like a counterbalance from what we're talking about here. But that's really important for someone in like who holds like a business owner, right? Because at the end of the day, you can't, there's always that line, professional versus personal,
yeah.
right?
But also you tend to realize, like a lot of people tend to mix the personal and professional. Like there's a lot of families who work together. There's a lot of people who've been like best mates. They started up businesses. They've done search. They've made like $1 million brands, that sort of stuff. Like you can mix personal and professional to a certain extent, but you can't like obviously it's not really suitable to have like your wife or your girlfriend while you're working and that sort of stuff. It's like that's obviously where it's obviously the split, but also I'm thinking as well in personal relationships, also that extra bit of detachment and being able to walk away is very, very important because then you get to stand your ground and also like not being the weaker person in the agreement because let's just be real. Social transactions are like transactions. You've got one party and another party. You've both got to come to like a win-win. If both parties don't want like a win-win and this outcome doesn't result in let's just say courtship. So let's just say if the outcome doesn't result in the two parties dating, one party's got to be strong enough to walk away and that's not the outcome that they wanted. Whereas the other party is still obviously on that weaker leverage position and they've got to try and well they basically understand where they're coming from and they either one got to do the same or two wait till the other party changes their mind and then that by using that skill of detachment it gives you a lot more powerful spot in a negotiating position and it can get you results probably it can get you even in some circumstances much better results than what you could in the first place.
Yeah, I see what you
So
mean.
that's something like very important to note down just because your spouse is honestly one of the most important things you do. One of the most important things, one of the most important people you have in your life. I just,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
just that
100%. There's also people out there that, I mean, every man is different too. Like some men can actually do business with their spouse, and then like as soon as they finish with their business, they can kind of switch back into like relationship mode. So I don't know like how that works, but it's just like, I guess it's like a mental switch for them. They can just go back and forth.
yeah.
Some in certain like for some people, I guess it works. It can be a good thing too. Like, you guys are both working together, working on something that's really nice. It obviously, like, it's gonna come down to, uh just kind of separating your emotions, like putting your emotions aside and like just focusing on just the business. And then after that, it's also like, how disciplined you are with your time, with your energy, how well you're able to control yourselves and all that. Those are also things that I guess kind of
Follow
have
through
like,
to your relationships.
yeah, exactly. So some people, they like that. Some people just want to just do business completely outside, the house. And then when they come home, it's like a whole different life.
Yeah,
So, I guess it depends from person to person.
yeah. I just I was just saying, just from my standpoint, I can see it, but I don't fully I can see why people do it. I just don't fully, sort of like understand it. I look at it from a point where you've got more so X values that you provide, she's got X values that she provides, and then you come together and unite. That's just my thinking on it.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
100.
just yeah,
That's also that's a totally like natural way of looking at it. But and then in general, like just to close things off on this episode of like on the social aspect, like in general, just try to put the effort of like being social with just people around you. You know, like when I moved out by myself here, like I try to just talk to as many different people, different age groups, older, younger, and just like have a good conversation. And just, people are always willing to, especially here in Montreal, like they're really nice. They're willing to talk. But in general, like if you know how to just put yourself out there as a, friendly human being and just have like a positive outlook, you're always gonna get something good, coming out from a social interaction. And
even if it takes a
it's
while.
proven like in research too that, you know, maintaining good social ties with the people around you, your community, your society, neighbors and whatnot, and your own family actually has an impact on longevity, right? Because you're always happy, you're not as stressed. You always have people around you that are gonna like kind of like look out for you, send you a message, say like, like they always like they want to be up to date with you and stuff. So, you always have like you feel like you're actually part of like a global community. And I'm saying this because I know a lot of people out there could be, antisocial and it's not really a good state. You're kind of like you feel like you're lonely in life, but that's not true. It's just an illusion, right?
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's very much an illusion because you can determine what you believe and how you see life, but you can also control and manipulate reality into your own favor.
Yeah, exactly. And by putting yourself out there, social in the society and talking to people, you're proving that to yourself, right? You're proving that
Yeah.
to exactly.
Because you're taking control of reality and not letting reality take control of you. And not letting reality take control of you. So
Exactly. You always validate, like talk to people, interact with them, ask them questions, you know, never just assume like, or just live passively. Like nothing's gonna that's the closing remark.
yeah, I was gonna say let's just end it there. That was a good closing remark because
Yeah,
I
sure.
did mine it.
If you don't have anything else to say, we can end it there.